Yesterday, at the launch of the 2025 SDG Gender Snapshot report, the alarm was raised that not enough progress is being made to accomplish any of the 9 targets for Sustainable Development Goal 5 to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. This was made clear by the Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs.
We are behind. 10 years after the adoption of the Sustainable Development Goals, including Sustainable Development Goal 5, which is the one on achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls, none of the 9 targets and 18 indicators and sub-indicators assessing progress towards that Sustainable Development Goal 5 are on track. We have not met any of our targets.
On Target 5.2, to end all violence against and exploitation of women and girls, the Chief of UN Women's Research and Data says that financial inclusion and comprehensive protection services can bring progress to this target.
Nearly 1 in 3 women will experience physical and/or sexual violence in her lifetime. This is a crisis of pandemic proportions. Yet, we also know how to change this. Financial inclusion is a powerful tool. For every 10% increase in women's financial inclusion, violence declines by approximately 2%. Moreover, countries with comprehensive protection mechanisms see rates of intimate partner violence that are 2.5 times lower than those without.
On Target 5.5, to ensure women's full participation in leadership and decision-making, progress is abysmal at the highest level of national leadership.
Only 29 countries currently have a woman head of state, and we've heard just now that over 100 countries have never had one, period. Just 27.2% of national parliamentary seats are held by women. But we also know that well-designed and implemented quotas can change that, sometimes nearly doubling women's representation in parliament over one election cycle. There is also a glimmer of hope in this regard. Younger members of parliament show more balanced representation. So as parliaments become younger, they may reflect better that gender balance.
It was reported that 2024 has recorded the highest number of women who live within 50 kilometers of deadly conflict since the 1990s. The director of the Policy Division of UN Women says that this is the result of political spending priorities.
They are, in fact, the result of disinvestment, the result of institutional erosion, and the result of systems that prioritize war over rights, war over equality. We live now in a world that spends $2.7 trillion a year on weapons, and yet falls short on the $420 billion price tag to advance and achieve gender equality and women's rights. And let me reinforce that this is not just a funding gap, but it is, in fact, a deeply political decision on spending.
Nevertheless, meaningful progress is said to have been made in participation in education and public office and in legislative reforms to eliminate gender inequality.
Where investments have been made, they have delivered, whether that's education, which for the first time in the world's history is at an all-time high, whether that's in maternal mortality, which has declined in significant ways, 40% over the last 25 years, or whether that's in the 100 countries that have repealed regressive laws, opening pathways for women and girls' action as well as opportunities.
On a local level, Choice News has been informed that the Minister for Gender Affairs, Dr. Virginia Albert-Poyot, will be presenting St. Lucia's Beijing Plus 30 report at a UN General Assembly side event this week. For Choice News Now, I am Cianna Dalsan.